AMX, the rebel with horsepower. There are moments in automotive history when a car bursts onto the scene, grabs everyone by the scruff of their neck, and demands their attention. The AMC AMX is one such car. Born in the tumultuous late 1960s, it was a time when men wore bell-bottoms and women danced in go-go-boots. American Motors Corporation, not exactly the first name in muscle car royalty, decided to throw caution to the wind and produce this fire-breathing rebel called the AMX. To start with, the name. AMX stands for American Motors Experimental, which sounds more like a government project than a muscle car. But trust me, there's nothing experimental about the brash, roaring power this beast delivered. Unveiled in 1968, the AMX was a two-seater sports coupe that took direct aim at the usual suspects. It wasn't trying to be subtle at all. It was trying to be everything at once, and that makes it gloriously fascinating. Look at it. The design is both brutish and seductive at the same time. It's like a fine whiskey poured over a hand grenade. The long bonnet, short rear deck, and wide stance all contribute to a look that's both menacing and enthralling. The quad headlights glare at you as if to say, "Dare to take me on?" with the confidence of a heavyweight boxer. Pop the hood and you'd find engines that could turn a moonlit stroll into a thunderstorm. The base model came with a 290 cubic inch V8, but the real excitement lay with the optional 390 cubic inch V8, spewing out an eyebrow-raising 315 horsepower. This wasn't just a muscle car. It was a muscle car with a chip on its shoulder and some serious firepower to back it up. 0-60? It did it in about 6.5 seconds, which in those days was quicker than a jackrabbit on espresso. Driving the AMX is like entering a brawl with brass knuckles. The steering could be politely described as spirited, requiring your full attention, and perhaps an extra pair of hands. The suspension was more of a polite suggestion to stay on the road rather than a guarantee. Yet it was all part of the experience, a raw, unfiltered dive into the essence of American muscle. Step inside and you're greeted by an interior that's endearingly Spartan. This was not a car for the weak-hearted. The dashboard was a straightforward array of gauges and switches meant to inform, not impress. The seats, functional, designed to hold you in place rather than pamper you. There's no glitz, no pretension, just you, the car, and the promise of unbridled speed. One of the most endearing aspects of the AMX was its audacity. AMC wasn't a big player in the muscle car wars, but they didn't just dip their toes in the water. They cannonballed into it with a battle cry. They even went racing, taking on the likes of Shelby Mustangs and Porsche 911s in the CA Trans Am series. And they weren't just there to make up numbers. They were there to win. The AMX underwent several iterations before it sadly bowed out in 1970. By then, it had carved a niche in the annals of automotive history as the plucky underdog that could go toe-to-toe with the giants. Its final years were marked by increasing emission regulations and the unfortunate American trend of downsizing, hardly a fitting end for such an undiluted burst of automotive rebellion. So, if you ever get the chance to pilot an AMC AMX, do it. Relish its raw power, its unruly charm, and its unapologetic attitude. These are not just cars. They are relics of a time when horsepower was king and subtlety was a foreign concept. Here's to the AMX, the rebel with horsepower. Enjoyed our dive into the wild world of the AMC AMX? Smash that like button, subscribe to autoicons, and drop your favorite muscle car story in the comments. Stay tuned for more revved up legends and iconic rides.